Data is not just numbers and figures. It's the story of who we are and where we are headed. The right data can help us transform communities and build a more sustainable world. Since 2015, we've been on a journey, what we call the citizen-generated data journey. We've had an argument that the best way to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals is if we are achieving them at the hyperlocal level, if we are making sure that the people at the hyperlocal level are involved. The Open Institute is proud to have played a pivotal role in Kenya's progress in institutionalizing citizen-generated data as part of the National Statistical System. Since 2015, we have worked with communities in Nakuru North sub-county, in Elgeyo Marakwet County and other places to collect household data that sheds light on the needs and the priorities of citizens. We are in Naivasha, together with a team of civil society organizations and the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, what they call KNBS, and they're leading us through a process of building the structures that are necessary for making sure that citizen-generated data is part of the National Statistical System.
We developed a guide, which now we know our civil societies, our other data producers are happy that now they have a document they're making reference to. We're trying to work together for common achievement for the country, particularly on data.
We really want to make sure that whatever data we are generating will contribute to what the data users want.
What is interesting for us is that at the very beginning, before we even started that journey, we had a conversation with some statisticians from around the continent and proposed this idea to them. And the answer from them was that it's impossible. It's scientifically difficult and it's expensive, and they had very, very many very good reasons why not. As we have said before, the more data there is, the better for the world. Unfortunately, too many people are invisible in the current data, and too little data is routinely disaggregated. But the promise of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development can only be fulfilled by timely, comprehensive, and better disaggregated data that is made available to all.
We are looking at SDG reporting or the broader national reporting, then we have to work more collaboratively to be able to.
What this means is that your CSO or your CBO, wherever you are, could actually collect data, make sure that it meets certain standards, and that data would actually make it into the national data system, and it would be part of the National Statistical System. That's a big thing, because for the longest time, data that has been collected by what they call alternative sources has always been seen as invalid or unreasonable. That's why the KNBS, together with the Global Partnership for Sustainable Development Data, GPSDD, and its global network, including the Open Institute, Paris 21, GROODS Kenya, and the SDG Kenya Forum, are working to reinforce commitments to improved and strengthened data disaggregation through the Technical Working Group on Citizen-Generated Data.
What we've learned from this entire process is that there's always need to rethink the data process.
We feel empowered, and we also feel there are people who can be able to check on us.
We hope that this can be the tool that when somebody comes and says, we want to just collect health data, they can use it and say, we have this other thought to do a broader. Can you plug into our master plan as a county in this particular area, so that then you don't have a lot of silos, but then you also don't have these projects that are 1 year, 2 years, and then they will go away and then it will die completely.
So now, if you're a civil society organization and you feel that there's data that you have been collecting with your citizens, and you feel like there's a way that you would like to make sure that it is seen by the National Statistical System, this is your chance. Go to KNBS and check out the guidelines that they've set out for citizen-generated data. Make sure that the data collection, your data collection process follows that system, so that the data that you collect is sound. And then bring it out to KNBS and let them see your data, and you'll find that a lot of it will actually pass. The technical working group that is led by KNBS, the Global Partnership for Sustainable Development Data, the Open Institute, and several other organizations is going to be there to look at your data and make sure that you're guided, that you are helped through, to make sure that it is useful, and to make sure that it actually is usable and actionable across the world.
We celebrate KNBS's efforts to incorporate citizen-generated data into the National Statistical System, and we are committed to continuing our partnership in this vital work. At the Open Institute, we advocate that the structures developed by the Technical Working Group are widely marketed and disseminated to all civil society organizations, including community-based organizations. Together, we can continue to make a difference by collecting and analyzing data that accurately reflects the needs and the priorities of citizens. Let's work together towards a more equitable and sustainable future for all.